Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How are you today, Alex?
Wonderful. Beautiful day in New York today.
It is a beautiful day, and it's good to be back here. We have some fun stuff to talk about. We always have fun stuff to talk about. Listen,
never ending.
Any day that you're just talking about comic books for 30 minutes, it's a fun day, right?
I agree.
Who else gets to do this? And we're having a lot of fun on our other podcast as well. We're doing pretty good with that. I hope you're enjoying that as well. It's a different format, different interview style, life stuff. Superheroes are tougher. We hope you're enjoying that as well.
And for the comic fans, Harvey Talabeo's coming up.
Yeah, that's a good
Junior.
The Armida one's good. Got a lot of good stuff out of John.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. All right, Alex, what are we talking about today here?
Yeah, we're gonna hit down some of the X-Men routes and stick a little saying to Marvel. We're gonna talk a little Psylocke.
Pleasant dreams.
Here. No knife in the back this time.
Because she's great.
Characters on fire,
of course. Amadeus Cho, my favorite, totally awesome Hulk, and the Canadians' best superhero team, Alpha Flight.
You and what army?
Funny you should ask.
Alpha Flight. Forget it, Vindicator. You can send every mutant in Canada after me. I ain't coming back.
Wolverine, no!
Yeah, it's interesting, Alex. It's like almost every single week you could just track like individual characters, whether it's the X-Men franchise, the Spider-Man franchise. You're starting to see all these films come out. The information is starting to leak out, which characters are in, which characters are out, who's merging, who's purging, who's coming into the Marvel universe moving forward. There's just so much speculation as to what's going to happen moving forward that I think now it's like, oh, Gambit, yeah, let's drive the price up on Gambit.
Right.
And what we're seeing, Alex, also is these pops are so low. In the sports card industry, you sometimes go to these pop reports and it's 3, 4, 5,000, and there's a million cards of the player.
Yeah.
But rookie cards, right? Okay. But in comic books, there's only one rookie card. There's only one first appearance. It's not 42 different versions of the first appearance. There might be like 5 or 6 different covers in some cases, but in some cases, it's just one
book.
And what's happening is that it's just be a shining spotlight. And unlike the cards where maybe you could find an old box and open it up, or find vending boxes or ragpack boxes and open up the packs and get cards, or people have them in their collections. When you find old comic books in boxes, they don't come out 9/8. They've been banged around too much. Yeah. Like one ding, it's over. One color break, it's finished.
Yeah.
So you are seeing skyrocketing prices on these 9/8. And what you're also going to see, and we'll talk a little bit about it today. We're starting to address raw pricing, which I know we've been talking about more and more.
We always mention it, but
you're starting to see this great disparity between these raw prices and 9.4s, 9.6s, and 9.8s. I mean, Batman 436 was a great example of that. It's literally a $5 book that is a $500 9.8.
Right.
Predator #2 is a $3 book, but it's a $300 9.8. But it's just crazy. Like that's what we saw with the sports card stuff. So all right. So what are we going to kick it off with today, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk about Betsy Braddock.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. Her first appearance is in a UK book.
Yep.
But it's such a popular UK book that it's considered part of the normal timeline. Yep. It's part of the normal MCU history. So Captain Britain #8, December of 1976. Alex, I mean, this is now a 40-plus-year-old book. It's a 45-year-old book, 46-year-old book at this point. It's crazy. To think that Marvel's going back all the way on these things.
Yeah.
It's just going absolutely nuts. So in any case, Captain Britain #8, 9, and 10 all came out in December of 76. They must have released 3 books in the same time period. #8 is the first appearance of Elizabeth Betsy Braddock, who later becomes Psylocke. Chris Claremont story, Herb Trimpe cover, Herb Trimpe and Fred Kita art. #9 is the second Betsy Braddock, and #10 is the first Betsy Braddock cover. Talk a little bit about the Betsy Braddock Psylocke.
Yeah, I mean, this is a character that's been in the X-Men franchise since the 80s. Like, this is a Chris Claremont creation and super big character. She's gone through some weird transitions. I mean, she was originally she's Catherine Britton's sister. She has a kind of like just a little bit of psychic abilities, and then that kind of moves in when she starts hanging out the X-Men, and she gets captured by the Hand. She gets turned from, which is kind of a weird thing these days, but she was a white character who got into an East Asian character, was trained by the Hand, so she was a ninja, and she was that way for a while, and she had, her powers kind of go back and forth. She had modified psychic powers that she could make psychic knives. Then she, was like a Crimson Dawn with Scott Lobdell. Like there's a lot of that stuff, and it's a little crazy. She's back to being her regular body and her regular self in X-Men now. But Psylocke, I mean, she was in Olivia Munn played her in a movie. Like this is a character that's not going anywhere.
Why do you think all of a sudden now, again, it just could be a silly question because I could ask this about everything, is
Sure.
Why now are you seeing like these prices 30, 40? I mean, Alex, I'm following the trends every week and you're seeing 20, 30, 40% weekly increases in pricing on these books.
You can also tell, I think, how I see it is in the comics right now, she is being used prominently. People start getting into a character and they start wanting to grab him. I mean, that was me when Infinite Crisis happened and they killed Ted Kord Blue Beetle. And I was like, oh, I love that Ted Kord Blue Beetle. I went backwards and bought all of his books. I bought his first appearance in DC Universe. I was buying his Charlton stuff. Like when you get a character that you like, you want to buy the stuff. And I think people are just looking to buy that stuff now.
Yeah, I think there's so much speculation going on as to what's going to happen with X-Men now. Okay, so number 8, there's 50 Blue Label, 4 Gold Label 9/8. It's a $2,400 plus book in 9.8. The last 9.6 is about $1,900 too. So it's not a cheap book.
No.
Then number 9, there's 27 Blue Label 9.8s. There's 0 Gold Label 9.8s. That's about a $900 plus dollar book in 9.8. And number 10, which I actually think if you're going to look for something, this might be the book to buy. It's 7 Blue Label, 0 Gold Label 9/8. The last Blue Label was $850. She's on the cover. And, I do think there is something, when you have like the Vision where he's on the cover for the first time, or you have Hulk 181 where he's on the cover for the first time, there is definitely sort of an added interest, I think, when you see their first covers. You know what I'm saying, Alex? So I definitely think, that there's some value there. Then the first U.S. appearance of Psylocke is worth more than any book other than the number 8.
Right.
New Mutants Annual number 2 from October of '86. So you didn't see her until 10 years later.
Yeah.
In the United States, Alex. 181 Blue Label 9.8s, 41 Gold Label 9.8s. It's about a $1,200 book. It's $275 in 9.6. That is the first appearance of Liz Braddock. Captain Britain, Mojo, and Spiral do make an appearance. It's Chris Claremont's story, interestingly enough. Alan Davis covering art. Any idea why it took 10 years? Or it was, and by the way, isn't it funny that Chris Claremont wrote them 10 years apart?
Yeah, no, other than the fact that back then more Marvel characters were being used constantly. Misty Knight was, every character, there wasn't a lot of new characters being brought up. It was a big deal to get new A-list characters into comics. So I think they just went back to the well. They had them.
Right. Okay. And then Uncanny X-Men number 213. That's that great Wolverine Sabretooth cover. It's an iconic cover. That came out January of '87. 400. By the way, January of '87. Like I actually remember. Now you're getting into territory where I worked at retail.
Right.
And I remember these books coming out. These books had high print runs, by the way. Don't kid yourself. Totally. That book was collected when it came out. That book was collected. Yeah. It was Wolverine and Sabretooth. At that time, Wolverine and Sabretooth were the 2 hottest characters in the industry.
Totally. Anything with them in it was huge, especially
back in '87. Yeah. So the pop reports do not surprise me. Or Uncanny X-Men was the number 1 title back then. 448 Blue Label 9/8, 64 Gold Label 9/8. It's still a $425 book in 9/8. It's $150 in 9/6. High pop, high print run. Yeah. Wolverine, Sabretooth. Psylocke joins the X-Men in this issue, interestingly enough. And it's Chris Claremont and Alan Davis again.
Yeah.
So how about that?
Yeah. Brilliant.
And then you have Uncanny X-Men number 256. That's the Jim Lee cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. December of
a great
89. Now,
cover.
December of 89, Jim Lee drawing X-Men. For those of you out there who were going to comic shops in 1989 buying Jim Lee X-Men, there were probably 2 million of you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, again, not low print run, but I mean, you're talking about Uncanny X-Men, Jim Lee, 1989, Alex.
The height and Jim Lee added on top of it.
Correct.
How can a book get hotter? Put Jim Lee as a pencil.
Right. So Uncanny X-Men 256, December of 89, 365 blue label 9/8, 85 gold label 9/8. That's a $375 book. It's 125 and 9/6. It's the first new Psylocke. It's got the Mandarin appearance. As we know, Mandarin is going to be in Shang-Chi. It's got a couple of things going for it. Again, it's Chris Claremont, by the way, all part of his X-Men run. Jim Lee cover. Then is the Uncanny X-Men 467. Again, the print runs were slowing down by then because now you're into the 2000s. It's February of 2006. 45 blue label 9/8, 4 gold label 9/8. It's only about $110 book, although the newsstand price variant sold for $500 recently. It's a Chris Claremont story, Alex.
Of course, he loves it. He loves it.
Right, and then you got the Chris Pachalo cover. Chris is one of my favorite artists. Chris has a very unique style. I love his work, and Chris, always a big fan of Pachalo. Then we get to Psylocke. Believe it or not, Alex, it wasn't until 2010, where she got her first solo series, Alex.
Yeah.
So Psylocke #1, January of 2010, David Finch cover, 55 blue label 9/8, 19 gold label 9/8, $325 in 9/8, about $125 in 9/6. Steve Dillon art. Sadly, Steve passed away a few years ago. It's a story by Steve Dillon.
Yeah.
And then with Harvey Talabeo and Paul Neary art with a David Finch cover.
Beautiful
the second
cover.
print has a Harvey Talabeo wraparound cover. It's pretty cool. 20 blue label 9/8, 1 gold label 9/8. It's about a $300 9/8 book, about $100 raw. These are very, very hard to find.
Yes.
That 2010 wraparound cover. Again, back in 2010, they really weren't doing variant covers that much.
No.
On the second
Just
print.
the beginning.
That was just the beginning of it all. Then you've got some really, really great Psylocke covers here, Alex. We're going to run through them pretty quickly.
Do it.
We're not going to talk about the non-Psylocke covers because there were a lot of variations and versions.
Very much so.
That didn't have her on the cover. So first we're going to do X-Men 92 where she was on the cover, and then we're going to go into Astonishing X-Men #1. So X-Men 92 came out in May of 2016. There's a David Nakayama cover. Love David's work.
Yes.
12 blue label, 2 gold label 9/8. It's a $3 to $5 book raw. I don't think that means anything when it comes to the 9/8 prices.
Right.
Then you have the Afua Richardson variant edition. Again, 3
Really
blue.
Afua.
Yep, 3 blue, 5 gold, 9/8. It's an $8 to $12 raw book. It's a hip hop variant cover. It's the Soul of Mischiefs 93 till Infinity cover homage. It's a group shot. It's not her solo. So just be aware of that. So, but the hip hop covers are very popular to begin with.
Yeah.
Then there's the J. Scott Campbell Stan Lee edition. He knows how to draw his ladies, that's for sure. 69 blue label, 103 gold label. That's about $175 book raw, $175 book in 9/8, 35 to 45 raw. Then the Stan Lee sketch edition by J. Scott Campbell, 78 blue label 9/8, 85 gold label 9/8. That's about a $200 book. It's $35 to $45 raw. And that's the end of X-Men 92. Then we get into Astonishing X-Men 91 and #1. And there are some great covers. Some great covers for this particular issue. There's like 30 different covers. We're only going to talk about
there's a lot.
There's like 25 or 30 different covers.
Yeah.
We're only going to talk about the Psylocke covers because that's really what we're focused on today. Those are the ones we're focused on today.
Yeah.
So the one that you want to focus on is the John Tyler Christopher action figure cover. 3 blue label, 7 gold label 9/8. It's about a $6 to $10 raw book. Then there's the Terry Dodson 1 in 10 character variant cover. 24 blue label, 28 gold label, 9.8, $12 to $15 raw. Then you have the 1 in 100 Stanley Art Germ Lau. Stanley is a monster. His work is unbelievable. 53 gold label, 53 blue label, 61 gold label, 9.8. That's about $100 to $150 raw, not 9/8. Then we've got the Essential Sequential.com Mark Brooks variant. 108 blue label, 139 gold label. That's about $100 raw, $235 in 9.8. Then you have the Mark Brooks Virgin cover, 91 blue label, 108 gold label. That's about a $280 book in 9.8. Then you have the Unknown Comics Lucio Perillo edition. There's an A, a B, and a C.
Yeah.
The A is the color version.
Regular,
12 blue label, 14 gold label. It's only about a $60 book. It's a great cover. The black and white is cover B, 11 blue label, 15 gold label. I couldn't find any CGCs, but that's about a $35 book raw. And then version C, which is the Virgin, which is a 14 blue label, 13 gold label. That's about $125 in 9.8. And then you have the two Adi Granoff variant covers. Yeah. You have the regular cover, 44 blue label 9.8s, 18 gold label 9.8s. That's about a $60 book. And then lastly, you have the Virgin variant of Adi Granoff, 63 blue label 9.8s, 32 gold label 9.8s, and that's about a $100 book in 9.8.
Yeah, those are the comic mint. Yeah, those are comic.
Those are great. Those are unbelievable.
They know what they're doing.
So, Alex, I'm out of breath, by the way.
Maybe I should talk for a little bit.
I'm tired. Yeah. All right. Alex's pick of the week, Alex. Yeah, I'm going to let you take over for a few minutes. Yeah. What do you got?
Grading is getting, do we say out of hand or do we say getting more popular? Because they are grading everything these days. First, it was coins, the very, that was a natural thing. Then it was comics. Then it was posters. Then it was concert posters. Then it was cars. Then it was video games. Now they're grading VHS tapes.
And I saw that's pretty cool, right?
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's like these are, it's the collectible market. Everybody's getting a slabbed, sealed thing. I'm a record collector. I'm sure that's coming. I don't know why. I mean, I open all my records. I listen to my records. That's what they're for. So to go buy a sealed something and a graded, I don't know. I can always buy two, but the grading world, it's not going away. People love it or hate it. Some people love it. Some people hate it, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the video game market took off like a rocket ship.
Sure.
And it's funny, you think to yourself, who kept their video games sealed, right? And then people threw them away when they were done playing, the game systems, whatever. Yeah. They became obsolete. You tossed them. It's no different with VHS tapes. I mean, even when I was cleaning out my mom's house, I found all these VHS tapes. I'm like, garbage. Yeah. We junked them all. So it does. Excuse me. It does make sense where it's like these things like Pokemon cards, like they printed millions of these Pokemon cards. Yes. So people would move and it's like, oh, my mom threw them out. They were taking up space.
That's why they're rare.
And then they became rare again. Yep. It's like they weren't rare because everyone had them. Then you threw them out because everyone had them. Yep. Next thing you know, people are going to be buying Beanie Babies again now.
No, that'll never, ever become a thing. If it's my lot in life, it'll be that Beanie Babies never become a thing. That is a solo adventure that I will do.
Got it. All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk Amadeus Cho.
Amadeus Cho again.
Totally awesome.
Alex, these prices are skyrocketing. I don't know what's going on, Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, is he going to be in a movie, a TV show?
He's a new character that is not going anywhere in the Marvel universe. I mean,
what is going on? Why are we seeing these prices?
Can't get out of there. This character is super fun. He was a Hulk. He's the seventh smartest person in the Marvel universe. He's a kid. I mean, he's got a lot going for him. He was Hercules at one time. He was the Prince of Power. Like he was Hercules's what was it? His partner. Like, I mean, this character is amazing. Everybody loves this character.
All right. What's the origin? How's he related to Hulk or She-Hulk or?
He was just a character that came about in like 2015, I believe, in the Amazing Fantasy, the second series, not the original one. But this character is, he's super smart. Reed Richards in the same levels. He's got some kind of power, but he doesn't have power. He's just super smart. He had a gauntlet that could turn him into a Hulk. So he was the Hulk for a little while with his brain. Like I said, he had Hercules's adamantium gauntlet. He's just a fun character and a young one. And all we see as Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, all the young characters are taking, coming forward.
That's crazy.
Right in the UCU. Yeah.
So this is going to blow your mind. The Totally Awesome Hulk #1, which you were just talking, you said Amazing Fantasy, that came out in 2016. The Amazing Fantasy, Alex, is from 2006. It's actually
it's super early.
It's 15 years old already.
It's crazy. It's bananas. It is bananas.
All right. Amazing Fantasy number 15, January of 2006. 188 Blue Label 9.8s, 14 Gold Label 9.8s. First appearance of Amadeus Cho, Blackjack, Ace and One-Eyed Jackie, Monstro, Positron, and the Heartbreak Kid. By the way, Robert Kirkman's story inside. How about that?
His first couple things. And Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. And if you don't know that name, he's responsible for Riverdale.
Wow. That's right. You're right.
Yep.
That's correct. So in 9.8, these books are selling for over $1,500 now, Alex.
Yeah, crazy.
9.6, $550. $200 to $250 raw. So that's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yes.
Then, interestingly enough, again, didn't get his first solo series, Alex, until 10 years later.
Yeah. I mean, he's been floating around in the Hulk books, but yeah.
Yeah. Totally Awesome Hulk #1, Frank Cho cover, February of 2016, 139 Blue Label 9.8s, 26 Gold Label 9.8s. It's about a $200 book. It's about $15 to $20 raw. Then there's the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant, 9 Blue Label, 9 Blue Label, 4 Gold Label, 9.8s. That's about an $8 to $12 raw book. The Mahmoud Asrar Raekwon only built for Cuban Links hip hop variant cover, homage cover. No. 75 Blue Label, 2 Gold Label 9.8s. That's about a $200 book. It's about $40 to $50 raw. This next one is very, very tough to get. The Dale Keown 1 in 20 92 variant, 15 Blue Label 9.8s, 8 Gold Label 9.8s. That's about a $40 to $50 book raw. The Chio Wu 1 in 25 variant, 22 Blue Label, 0 Gold Label 9.8s. About $285 book, $25 to $35 raw. Here's the big one, Alex. The Frank Cho 1 in 25 variant, 62 Blue Label 9.8s, 10 Gold Label 9.8s, $900 in 9.8, and it's $150 raw. Why are we seeing such a crazy price on the Frank Cho? Is it because people so closely associate Frank with the character?
Yeah, and it's also Frank Cho. Like he is one of the most popular artists in comics.
Yeah, he does a good job. He does all those funny, crazy positioning drawing covers. What was it? The Spider-Woman cover?
Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl. Yep.
The Spider-Woman, right? I think.
Yep.
Spider-Girl? Yeah, okay. And then the second print Frank Cho cover has a blue logo, 8 Blue Label 9.8s, 0 Gold Label 9.8s. Impossible to find this book. It's a $40 to $50 raw book. I'm telling you, a lot of these books are sitting in the dollar boxes, Alex. Says these books were not worth this even close to this a year ago.
Oh, no. Totally. Also, I mean, the store I frequent had a full run for forever, just sitting collecting dust, and then now they're gone. So
there's going to be a mad dash at these shows. You know that, right? It's going to be like off to the races when people unload these $1 boxes. Okay. What are we closing with tonight, Alex?
The Canadian Avengers Alpha Flight.
Okay. I mean, Alex, are they coming into a movie? Are they coming into a TV show?
Doesn't matter. They're so wonderful.
Yeah, but the prices are.
Why not? With MODOK and everything going on with that show, why wouldn't Alpha Flight get picked up for something?
The MODOK show looks a little wacky, right?
It's fantastic. If you like Robot Chicken.
I don't have Hulu.
Oh, come on.
By the way, Robot Chicken started in Toy Fair magazine.
Yeah. Same things. Migos and everything.
It was all the same. It was all the same team. It was Sunreich. It was all those guys. Doug Goldstein, Sunreich, Mike. What was his name? Feldstein. I can't remember. That's what they were doing. We were doing the stop motion in Toy Fair. What was it called?
Toy Fair Theater.
Toy Fair Theater. Twisted Toy Fair Theater.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yep. Thanks for you. MODOK is happening.
I think I've invented a lot of stuff that I don't take credit for. By the way,
it's true. I'll agree with
you. How to handle. Okay. All right. So first appearance. X-Men number 120, May of 1979. 84 Blue Label, 5 Gold Label, 9.8. Alex, that's a $1,600 book today. In 9.6, it's about a $650 book. First appearance of Alpha Flight in a cameo. That's why it's a cameo. So the big one is coming up next.
Last page.
Sunfire. It sounds like Hulk 180, right?
Yeah,
Sunfire, Mariko, Yoshida, Misty Knight, and Colleen Wing appearances. It's a Chris Claremont story. We're talking about him a lot today.
Of course.
John Byrne artwork. So again, the artwork inside this is the Claremont Byrne
classic run.
Yeah, classic run. Then you have X-Men 121. Also came out the same month. It must have been a 5-week month.
Yep.
342 blue label 9.8s, 31 gold label 9.8. So the pop is 4 times what number 120 is, but it's a $2,400 book in 9.8.
Yep.
$575 in 9.6. This is the first full appearance of Alpha Flight.
Yep.
Has the same characters appearing as the last one. Again, John Byrne and Chris Claremont did the story and the artwork on it. And then last but not least is they waited 4 years, got their own solo series, Alpha Flight #1 in August of 1983.
1 month before I was born.
Oh,
quick fact.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. 876 blue label 9.8,
Wow.
24 gold label 9.8. There's actually 199 blue and 199 gold. That's about a $400 to $500 book in 9.8.
That's crazy.
First appearance of Puck and Marina. That gives you the origin of Alpha Flight. Again, it's John Byrne's story and artwork. So that's a story on Alpha Flight. So those prices are really sort of going up.
That's a huge pop for 400, 500 bucks. 876.
Alex, we're just seeing this across the board, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing it across the board.
It's
It's like anything. And again, there's only a very limited number of stuff that you could buy that you'd want to buy. So
Yep.
So all right, Alex, another great show out there. If we missed
Yes.
anything, if you feel like we didn't say something or do something right, give us a call, give us a note and a shout out in the comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. And we will see everybody next week, same bat time.
Same bat channel. Thanks, guys.